Tibor Tampa, head of the Hungarian community of Kiev and Kiev region. Hello, Mr. Tampa. Thank you so very much for joining us tonight.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Thanks for your invitation.
All right, so let's go. First question, I'm anxious actually to get an answer for it. How big is the Hungarian community in Ukraine after all?
Unfortunately, today only not more than 100 persons, according to last hour survey, but we have more than 100 persons before widen Russian aggression in Kiev and Kiev region.
All right. Well, anyway, I know that we knew that there are not much Hungarians in Ukrainian society now, but there are people, and they certainly have their opinion. So, what is Ukrainian Hungarian society? Do you think of? That's right, Viktor Orban.
You know, unfortunately, Viktor Orban has made Hungarians ashamed, and he is a scoundrel, unfortunately. And he did a lot of bad things thanks to his attitudes, his actions. And unfortunately, Orban don't understand. He doesn't know what means to be Hungarians in Ukraine, and unfortunately, he is a Russian ally economically and ideologically. Orban now finance Russian aggressions, buying natural resources from Russia, and this is maybe the only European country who support economically by financing Russian aggression in whole Europe.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Of course, I know the facts. But you said that Viktor Orban doesn't know something. I cannot agree with that. I think Viktor Orban knows exactly what he's doing, and he is acting in terms of his own wealth and money. So Viktor Orban is a populist, and he's a nationalist and pro-Russian Hungarian leader who has a history of performatively threatening, but he performs like threatening to play his veto card. Veto, I'm going to veto this, I'm going to veto that, but then he steps back. Every time he steps back, and when European society is almost afraid, as it is actually, because of Viktor Orban's veto, he steps back. Why is that?
Very simple, because Viktor Orban's Kremlin's Muppets. He is more than 10 or 40, maybe 15 years Kremlin's allies, and he has a very close ties with Putin, with Russians, but not only Orban, but all his government. Peter Szijjártó, Minister of External Affairs, visiting now also almost every time Russia, Moscow, and Belarus also. And by the way, Hungary is the only country heading by Orban who support last elections, anti-democratic election in Belarus.
Really?
Yeah.
So he said that. He said that he supports, but does that mean that Hungarian people are okay with that? They said, okay, Orban said, yeah, so maybe Belarusian is the properly elected president. I mean, my question is, Hungarian people can certainly protest if they are against Orban. Why is nothing happening there?
Yeah, it's also very simple answer, because, by the way, Orban is not only anti-democratic, with a neo-fascist, really neo-fascist, and unfortunately today a lot of young Hungarian people emigrating from Hungary because they don't have any proposals, any possibility to realize their gifts. And unfortunately, Orban has a very narrow-minded electoral, narrow-minded voters. First of all, people 60 and 65 plus, with 7 or 8 class, uneducated, and without young population in Hungary.
Okay. I take it that as an answer. I suppose that populists usually do not have too educated people as voters. But let's talk about just the last question for tonight. If I will make a statement and you agree or disagree, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If I say that Robert Fico induced Slovakia's energy crisis to benefit the Kremlin, would you agree with that?
Yes.
Right. So it's simple as that.
Because Fico same as Orban, but he has a little bit forces in Slovakia than Orban, and he would like to benefit. And by the way, all money from natural gas in Hungary directed to propaganda. All this money needs for propaganda to feed low educated people.
And it's working, isn't it?
Unfortunately, yeah. Unfortunately, really working. And by the way, Hungary has natural gas for charges for population 10 times more than Ukraine. But we have, unfortunately, today a very passive Hungary, which is broke into two parts: Budapest, big cities, and provincial part.
Right.
Which Orban really undertake.
Of course. I mean, if there is a chance, somebody would just obliged to use it. So this time it's Viktor Orban. So let's hope the situation will change and Europe will be more decisive in terms of Viktor Orbans and other propagandistic pro-Kremlin leftovers. Let's call it that way. And I thank you so very much for your time and for shedding some lights about what is going on in Hungary, because at least for me now it's more or less clear. And I hope to talk to you very much soon. Thank you.
Thanks for having me. Have a cold evening.
Thank you so very much. Stay safe. Goodbye.